welcome back to my channel. I hope that you've been doing well. Hello newcomers, don't forget to subscribe, and I have a tutorial here for us today on how to knit a beanie. So I'm going to show you all my little tricks and let's get into it. So you're going to need circular knitting sticks. I'm using my 12mm circular knitting sticks, and these are perfect for making a beanie. And I also have my respun yarn from Lions brand, not sponsored. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make your loop and then put it on your knitting sticks. We're going to start to cast on the amount of stitches that we need for our project. So my head is a width of 6.5 inches, so I'm going to be casting on 37 stitches for my head size. And if you do need to figure out your head size, you can also Google it, or you can just cast on, knit a couple rows, take it off your knitting sticks and see if that fits. So I'm going to be doing my 37 stitches. And once everything's facing the right way, we're going to go ahead and start our pattern. So it's going to be a knit one, and then we're going to bring that yarn forward and kind of move our finger and do a purl one. So that's how you do a purl. That yarn is going to push to the back naturally, and then you're going to be prepared to do your knit stitch. So for the first row of your knitting is going to be a knit one and then a purl one. Once we have completed our first row, we're going to go ahead and attach both sides. So we're going to stick our knitting stick into the opposite side, either doing a knit one or a purl one. For me, it's going to be a knit one. I'm going to bring my yarn forward and get ready to do my purls. So this is going to be the pattern for like the folded part of your beanie, if that's what you're doing. So you're going to continue this for about 22 rows, just working your way up, doing knit one, purl one in the round. You'll realize that it actually is quite tall, but that is what you want because the folded part of the beanie actually needs a lot of rows. So once you've completed that, make sure that you're facing the back of your work, and you're going to just start doing knit stitches. This is going to be starting the kind of area where our head is going to sit in. You don't want to do any purls, just knit stitches for 10 rows. So work your way up, just doing knit stitches in the round for 10 rows. Once you've completed your 10 rows, we're going to soon start to prepare to do our decreases because we're going to have to close off the top of our beanie. But just continue with your 10 rows and I will catch you when it's time to close off the beanie. Once we are done our 10 rows of knit stitches, we're going to start to decrease. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit one, just a regular knit stitch, and then we're going to knit another one, and then we're going to take 2 stitches and kind of do a knit stitch with them, and that's going to be how we're going to decrease. So we're going to decrease after 2 knit stitches. So it's going to be knit one, and then do a decrease. So that's what we're going to do for the whole round of this row, and then we're also going to do that for the next rows until really the top of our beanie is a very small circle, and that's when we're going to have to do a little different pattern, but it's going to be quite similar and super easy to do. So keep doing your knit one, knit another one, and then your decrease. Once you've done your knit one, and then your decrease rows, you're going to see that the circle is getting really small and it's actually harder to knit. So what we're going to do, we're going to start to cast off, okay? So if you're using circular needles like mine, kind of set up your hooks like I have here in the video. So you kind of want the circular hook part to be poking out of the yarn. Just gives us like the yarn to be closer together so that when we do cast off it's a bit easier. So you're going to do your regular knit stitches, and then you're going to pull the yarn that you first knit over the second. So you're going to knit one and then pull the yarn of the last stitch over the last one. You know what I mean? So we're carrying it over in order to cast off. So this is what we're going to do just for the top of our beanie, and it's still not fully closed, so get your crochet hooks ready because we're going to need that in order to do the next step approaching. Since the hole of the top of the hat is very small and we kind of had to maneuver our hooks in order to fit it comfortably, you'll have some other stitches. So just cast off all of the stitches so that we can move on to the next part, which will be to fully close off the top of our beanie. Once we have fully casted off all of our stitches, you'll see that there's still a hole there, but it's very tiny. But now we're gonna crochet, and I'm using my 5mm crochet hook, and this is kind of my method in order to do it. So I put my crochet hook through the loop that was on my knitting sticks, and I just go diagonally, and then I'm going to loop that yarn around and pull through twice, and that's really how I'm going to cast this off. So I'm going to always be turning diagonally from where I'm standing, and I'm just going to cast off until I realize that there is no air or just no space in the top of my hat. And then once you have fully closed it off to your best ability, you're going to need to get your scissors, because we're going to need to cut off the end of this yarn and then weave it through the inside of our hat. So here's me just making sure it's fully closed. I'm going to give that little snip, and then I'm going to pull this yarn, and then I'm gonna kind of weave it into the hat with my crochet hook. It just makes it a bit easier, just like I'm doing right here. Once you're done, you can kind of weave that string in the hat, and then make sure you give it a little tug just to make sure it's all pulling and you don't have this hole on the top of your hat. You're going to weave in that loose string that you just cut off and just give it a little knot just so that it's secure and it doesn't come undone. Once you've completed the last step, you can take a look at the top of your beanie, see if everything's okay and there's no holes showing. You want to make sure that if there's any loose strings, we're going to kind of deal with them now. Just give them a little tie around, but you want to make sure that you're tying the loose string on the non-visible side of the beanie, and you'll be good. And there we have it. We have our beanie. It's all done. The rim looks really strong and secure, and it's definitely warm enough for fall weather coming soon and winter as well. So you can really do this pattern quick and easy for Christmas gift, holidays, birthdays. It's just a really cute gift to give, super easy, and you can, as you may know, you can use so many colors and so many different types of yarn, more fluffy yarn. You can even use chunkier yarn. Well, thank you so much for tuning into my video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.